welcome back to I'll Read What She's Reading. I'm Mikayla.
I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Reggie.
Okay, we're going to announce the book club book of the month for November. Say that 10 times fast. It is Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and we're very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
If you guys are wondering why when you look on Amazon or Barnes & Noble it's a pre-order, it's because, well, Mikayla's had this book for how long?
I don't know, a while.
She got picked up by a publishing house and they're republishing it. So I don't believe you can get, I think you can get the UK version, but here in the US, it's being released on, I think November 7th or 8th. I think
I just ordered it. It says it will be delivered by November 8th.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why it says pre-order, that's why. But that's plenty of time for you to read it.
Or you could be cool like me and already have the book.
Yeah.
Do we want to give like a synopsis? I don't feel like we ever give like a synopsis of the next book we're reading.
I have no idea what it's even about, to be honest.
Miss Sarah Caroli says it's like Hunger Games but better, and we trust Sarah Caroli.
Yes.
With our life.
So I'm down.
I've heard there's just lots of really good tropes, lots of giggling and blushing moments, and I'm all for that. So
Same.
Me too.
Sign me up.
I'm
Okay, and then today's episode is about The Only One Left by Riley Sager.
Sager.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I said Seeger. Okay, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did you guys read the author's note?
No.
I
forget to
don't.
read those.
I think he writes under.
He writes under a pen name.
Yes,
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do know that.
I had no idea. I read the author's note and I
Mhm.
was like, oh, what does a pen name mean exactly? It's not his real name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's
writes
just
under
a
a different name.
name.
Which, if you were an author, would you write under your real name or would you do a pen name?
I think it'd be kind of fun to be like have a pen name.
I think it would too. My name is not very like fun to say. So
Yes, yours is.
Reggie Gertzen. No one knows how to say my last name.
Well, I know like 5 Kennedy Larsons, so
Really?
that was
What
dramatic.
would you choose?
I don't know.
D. Larson?
I'd probably use like Slade. I love that name.
Oh yeah, you
Slade.
totally
That was
should.
my husband's original last name.
Slade.
Slade. Yeah.
Like
Catch you
Slay?
later.
Slay? Or like
Slade.
Slade.
Yeah.
But see, Mikayla, your last name is cool.
Yours is cool.
Mine is cool.
Noel.
Yeah.
Noel.
Papa Noel.
Mommy Noel. That would be my pen name. Mommy Noel. Just kidding. It is cool. Thanks to my husband. Noel is a good last name.
Yeah,
Mikayla Noel.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool.
Which, this is kind of a tangent a little bit. I didn't realize, you guys, until I saw the SJM interview. No. I was reading a book. Anyways, it was either the SJM interview or a book. Christina Lauren
Uh-huh.
is two people.
I don't know
It's
how
Christina
that works.
and Lauren. They write together. I didn't realize that
How
until
could you
about
write
2 months ago.
Together. I know like people write songs together and I can get that. It's like, you know, like a 3-minute song. But like writing a whole book together, I feel like you'd butt heads a lot. Like, I
Well,
want the story to go this way. I want it.
Here's an idea. Let's write a book all together under a pen name.
I think we'd strangle each other. Just kidding. No, a lot of people work with a lot of people. That
I got what
authors,
you meant.
authors work with a lot of people, like their publicists, like their
Posse.
posse. They just
Mhm.
don't have their names on the book. So, because I remember, we just can't talk enough about her. Rebecca Yarros talking about her process. And I think she went hand in hand with like her publicist or
Publisher?
editor
Yeah.
about like literally creating the story. They went back and forth a lot. So I feel like that happens a lot more than we think.
That's fair, yeah.
So, but I feel like it would be difficult, but it also could be nice to bounce ideas off each other a lot and not just be solely yourself, because I feel like people also get in writing slumps. And so it might be nice to like have someone else that can kind of take over if you're like, I have no more ideas in my head. What do you got? So
I agree.
Yeah.
that was the weirdest tangent. I'm so sorry.
That's
I liked it. It was great.
Okay, let's get back to our October book club book of the month. Woo!
Honestly, cue the spooky music because
Spooky music.
this
The
was
vibes.
a good This was a very good pick for a lot of reasons. One, I just felt like it was a very good spooky season book. Two, the amount of plot twists. I've never read so many plot twists in one book.
There were 10.
Kennedy
counted?
I counted.
Wow.
And my review on Goodreads was wrong. There was an extra one I forgot. Should we go through all of them?
Yeah.
Why
You
not?
wanna-
Why
You
not?
wrote them all down?
So, yeah.
Oh, let's
So
hear
if you guys haven't read the book, now's your time to skedaddle. We
Get
love
outta
you.
here.
We'll see you next year. I mean, next month.
see you next year.
See you next year.
Taking a hiatus.
So we'll see you next month when you read Powerless. Okay. They are not in order. Okay, these are the ones I counted. Tell me if any of them are wrong. Lenora is actually Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia was pregnant. That to me was a plot twist. The fact that she was pregnant. No? I remember I was like, what?
I guess.
I mean, it's kind of a plot twist because it was actually her that was pregnant, not
Lenora?
Lenora.
But like they were pregnant. I remember being like,
I feel like it's just like an added part of the story in a way though. But like I can see why you would count it as a plot twist.
Yeah.
okay.
I think it added to the plot twist.
For sure. Mrs. Bates is actually Lenora.
Yeah.
Ricky is actually with Archie.
Uh-huh.
The mom killed the dad. Patrick killed the mom. Patrick is the baby daddy, not Ricky. Patrick is Kit's dad. Virginia can walk and talk. Jessie is the granddaughter.
Yeah. I can't think of any other ones.
That's wild.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the book too.
We actually have the book on hand this
we have
time,
the
you
book on
guys.
hand.
Wait, would you consider this was kind of a plot? Well, I don't know if you'd consider this a plot twist. When she is convinced that Carter was the one that killed Mary. And so the book had us believing like, oh, Carter killed Mary. And then literally 5 pages later or less than that, it was like, oh, her
Who's
dad.
Yeah, that is a plot twist. So there's 11. There's 11.
There were just so many. And I was just like, I seriously read 60% of this book in one sitting. I woke up early one morning because I couldn't sleep. It was like 6:30. And for some reason, my family slept in, which never happens. And I sat and read for like 3 hours straight.
Dang.
And I just like finished the whole thing.
Never mind. This doesn't make any sense. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm so dumb, you guys. I literally thought that Mary was her granddaughter too, but Jessie named her daughter Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I was fully convinced that Carter was the one that did it.
Me too.
I was like, I knew it was Carter. Wow, I'm so good at this.
Was that
And
like
then
your
Riley
first
said-
initial thought?
Well, I just thought something was really sus with Miss
Baker?
It's Baker?
Mrs. Baker?
Shiz, I said the wrong thing. I said
Isn't that
Miss
right?
Bates. I think it is Miss Baker.
Baker. I was like, something's up. Well, I texted you guys and I was like, Miss Baker did it. And in actuality, she did.
I mean, you weren't necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, my very first note I wrote was Mrs. Baker did it. I'm calling it.
We were just wrong about who she really was.
I never would have guessed in a million years all of the things that happened. And I feel like I read thriller books and they don't really surprise me anymore. I'm always kind of like, yeah, okay. And then it was like the last 50 pages of this book. Twist after twist after
You get
twist.
a plot twist. Everyone
I
gets a plot
thought
twist.
that Virginia was alive
Okay.
beforehand. Because I was like, there's no way there's going to be a ghost. And I was like, I think Virginia's alive somehow and just like hiding out in the house.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe she lives because it's such a big house. Like there's a secret room
Yeah.
that she lives in.
That's what I like. My first initial thought when they kept mentioning her so much, I'm like, she's not dead. To me, she's not dead.
Okay, but also explain the fact that like she would hear people walking around and then she would go open the door and then she was like laying in bed. Like how did she never catch her walking around? Because she'd be like, I heard noises and then she'd
Jessie?
hurry and open. No, not Jessie.
Jessie was the one that would walk around the room.
I know, but there was like 2 or 3 times I swear she mentions like she heard someone walking around and she would like hurry and open the door to the room, and then
That's
there was
true.
nothing there.
I feel like she
So I was like,
didn't
is
look
Jesse?
hard enough.
Yeah, maybe it was just like too dark enough that like.
Because
Plus-
it's also hard not knowing the layout of the room. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, what if there's like a corner that she could just go stand in and like she didn't look.
I
all
know, like
way
at the
into
end when she's like,
room.
I'm gonna just drag her into this dark corner and hope my dad doesn't see her, and then he's all like, "Hello, Virginia." I'm like, okay, good, nice try, nice try. But like, also, it was interesting to me that no one ever caught that she would talk to one Archie at night, and
he didn't.
Jesse would came a time or two, like,
I
because
don't
their
think
rooms are right.
Archie talked to her.
Well, wouldn't he come to her room? He said something about in the end, like, because he knew all along that it was Virginia and not Lenora, and he would go to her room and say goodnight to her every night.
But I don't think she would talk to him.
I don't think she did either.
I don't think anybody knew that she
She could talk.
She could
but
talk.
He would go talk. Anyway,
I think
just,
Jesse knew.
Yeah, Jessie
Yeah.
was the only one that knew.
but it was just interesting that like no one ever.
Caught on.
She never heard Archie in there talking to her. Maybe he didn't talk, but still, whether her rooms are lit, I don't know.
Also, do you guys know what the time span is? Like, was this a span of like 2 months, 2 weeks
For working there,
Yeah.
I swear it was only like 2 weeks.
I swear it was only 2 weeks too. Honestly, the craziest thing about all of this to me is them living in the house that is literally falling apart.
Seriously.
I got so much anxiety from that. I'm like, you guys are literally crazy.
I wish I would have counted how many times in this book it said that their mattress had shifted
Shifted,
at
or
night.
like she's showering and the water's like. I knew that was gonna play a part in the book.
Not in the way
I just
it
also
did.
though could not believe that like in the real world no one would be allowed to live in a house like that.
No.
Like you would have the city being like, you need to get out of this house as soon as possible. I don't know.
Also, the detective pissed me off so bad.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm like, are you even a detective?
I'm like, you are just. That's
What?
one.
I forgot a plot twist.
What?
That her dad actually killed her mom.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we're just gonna keep a running tally.
11. No.
12.
12.
Wow. Wow.
I feel like we're kind of all over the place. So
Yeah,
let's
sorry.
start with.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Our overall ratings of the book.
You go first.
I gave it 5 stars.
You go next.
I gave it 4.
I give it 4. Only because I think we've talked about this so many times. It depends on like when you read the book, what you read before and what you read after. And at the time I was reading this book, I was just really engulfed in the world of Once Upon a Broken Heart. And
I'm sorry. That's probably my fault.
no, it's not, because I enjoyed it. I was trying to hurry through this book so I could read A Curse for True Love. And so at times I kind of felt like I was just trying to get through the book. But nonetheless, it still shocked me. And the environment of this book, the gothic house, the spooky, the creepy, I really, really enjoyed it. And I will definitely be reading more of Riley Sager.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why I gave it 4 stars. Otherwise, I probably would have given it 5.
Yeah, there were things about it that weren't perfect to me, but I still gave it 5 stars because I really enjoyed my experience overall. The fact that I read 60% of it in like one sitting was very telling. And I just feel like I haven't read a thriller in a long time that's like knocked my socks off. I was very like, whoa. And so I feel like with thrillers though, I haven't read a thriller that's like 100% perfect. But I've learned that I haven't found one that is. And so when I compare it to other thrillers.
It's definitely
One of my
one of
faves.
the better thrillers I've read. So
Me too.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. I think I was also like in a little bit of a reading slump. And it's probably the last book I wanted to be reading at the time.
Mikayla finished it today.
But I did. I finished it. I almost just went to the end.
I mean,
I thought
honestly
about it.
probably would have been so confused if you even
I
skipped
know.
like one chapter.
I would have been confused, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's lame. But I thought about it. I genuinely thought about it. I was like, you know what? I could just go to the parts where the typewriter is at, and I would know what was going on.
Yeah.
But at the end, I would have been really confused.
Look at us picking another book club book that involves a typewriter 2 in a row.
That was not intentional.
No,
We're just so good at that. Yeah, I just think similar to Kennedy though. I think I didn't give it 5-star because it was kind of tougher for me to get into, because once I finished A Curse of True Love, I got in a really bad reading slump.
Yeah, it's like right book, wrong time.
Yeah, but it was still good. So, all right, should we go to our favorite moment? At least favorite moment?
Yeah,
Let's do fave moment first.
Ooh, I have to kind of think about this.
Maybe like the best plot twist in our opinion, or the most shocking to us.
I gasped when she goes to visit, what is her name? The lady at the rest home?
Ricky's wife.
Ricky's
Not Ricky's wife.
Okay, so there's Ricardo and there's
Ricardo.
Ricky. So there's Ricky.
Ricardo's wife.
Ricardo, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
like
Ricardo,
it's confusing that, and it was on purpose.
because she called. Yeah.
I also was I don't know if, sorry, I'm interrupting. I knew that it wasn't Ricardo. That was the baby daddy. I was like, that's not him.
Okay.
Interesting.
And so when she was like, I was like, what the freak? Why are you convinced that she's having an affair with so-and-so?
Why you thought that?
I don't know. But like, I knew
I
it
was
wasn't
literally
him.
like blind until she goes and talks to that lady, and then she says, okay, this is what's so confusing to me. I had to Marco Polo Kennedy, and I was like, help me make sense of this.
Do you remember when I Marco Polo'd you guys and I was like, I am so confused at this part. This is the part that I was confused at.
Yeah. So she goes to the rest home and she tells the lady's talking to her, and she's like, yeah, he just couldn't help. How did she say it? Yeah, he's just a sucker for those blue eyes. And the way it was like written, I was like, blue eyes, but isn't Lenora supposed to have these bright green eyes? Because in her painting on the wall, it talks about how she has these piercing green eyes. So I was like, wait, but she has green, like, I feel like Riley Sager made it known that she has green eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So then when she was like, those blue eyes, I was like, oh, yeah. So that was like a big thing for me. But then right after that, it jumps into she's looking at the artwork, and then she goes to the urn, and then it's empty, and then she figures it all out.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little confused how she kind of figured it out, but that was like the point where I was like, oh, this is going to get interesting. So I liked that part, and I liked that when I read that, I was like, ooh. But I was very confused.
Yeah, I was so confused because maybe you guys can help me make sense of this, because I'm still a little bit confused. So Ricardo's wife thinks that the real Lenora is having an affair with her husband, right? Because the blue eyes. But, right? Yeah.
It's technically...
Because she was like, she said he's a sucker for those blue eyes. So he thought that he was having an affair with Lenora.
With Lenora.
Yeah, the real Lenora.
But did Lenora get bloody?
But then this is what I'm confused about. They paid her off. Why did they pay her off? Was it because
she
had the knife?
Lenora was holding the knife.
And even though Lenora didn't...
Okay, this clears everything up. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I got it now.
She was holding a knife.
And
they didn't pay her off because she knew that Virginia was pregnant, right?
No, because she already had the baby at that point.
Okay, clears everything up. Thank you. Because I thought,
because she had the baby in the
reason after I finished it, or during the time that I was reading it, I thought that they paid her off.
She does know she has a baby.
I thought they paid her off because she knew that Lenora was pregnant, or Virginia was pregnant. But it must have been the knife. They paid her off because she saw Lenora with the knife. That's why they paid her off.
She did know,
but she didn't know Virginia was pregnant.
She did know that she was pregnant because she walked into the kitchen and she was there.
That's why I got
and
confused.
She said,
wait, she's grabbing the knife for what reason?
But she...
Okay, so the order of events is, the thing is I get so, it's so trippy with the Lenora Virginia. So the real Lenora is locked, okay, hold on. Virginia is locked in her room. She's pregnant.
So it's just the opposite.
She's about to run
everything.
away. Yeah, she's about to run away with Ricky.
Yes.
And Virginia tells, Lenora tells the dad. He comes in. They lock the door.
No, it's just Lenora that locks
okay.
the door.
Okay, wow. We're really struggling.
No, it's okay.
So Lenora locks the door. Virginia is trapped in there. And then as soon as the door locks, her water breaks.
Yeah.
So then she's like about to give birth. She starts screaming. And that's when Mrs. Baker and Lenora come in to help her give birth.
Yes.
That's when the dad comes in.
He doesn't come in until after, because I don't know, like,
he just takes the baby. No, Miss Baker
does, but I feel like it was like a thing back then where men were never present for, so I don't think
he was like pacing in the hallway. He had to, because she was screaming.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lenora runs downstairs to get a knife to cut the umbilical cord.
And that's when Ricardo's wife sees her with a knife.
Yes. So that little situation happens. And then she runs upstairs. There's a whole interaction of like what they're going to do with the baby. And Virginia's crying. She just wants her baby. It's very sad. And then after all is said and done with the birth and the baby and Mrs. Baker are gone, that's when the dad starts cornering Ricky and he's getting all mad at him in the billiard room.
Yes.
And then the mom comes in. That's when she stabs him in front of both of the daughters? Or just Virginia?
I don't know where Lenora is.
I feel like, I don't know where Lenora is at that point. But Virginia, because Ricky takes her out because the mom says to him, get her out of here. Like, I don't want her to see this, basically. She stabs the dad. Then she stabs herself. That's then when Ricky kills the mom because she basically begs him to do it and encourages him to.
Yeah.
She dies. At that point, I don't really know where Lenora is. Is she getting rid of the knife?
I think Lenora doesn't get rid of the knife. It's Virginia. At the very beginning of the book, it's supposedly Lenora's perspective is technically Virginia's.
I guess I'm just confused where
I think Lenora in her
goes.
Room.
She just locks herself.
Or she went with Miss Baker. Like, she was
helping her
get.
So then that's when Virginia's like, I'm going to kill myself.
Yes.
That whole thing happens. And then Lenora comes back, thinks she's dead. Okay.
Wait. Because if you remember, Lenora calls and says there's been 2 murders. So Virginia had not yet hung herself at that time. And then by the time the police showed up.
Oh, well, she throws the knife and then she hears a scream in the house. So I think that's when, okay.
She calls 911 And then she says there's been 2 murders here. And then Lenora hangs herself, but doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
And then she decides to switch.
Which is wild.
Anyways, kind of a crazy timeline, but I was like, I just needed it to make sense for me. Even though I just barely finished the book, I'm like, I gotta make it make sense.
It is a little crazy.
It's wild.
Thinking about
it's so much whiplash.
It's also like the game of Clue, like Kennedy said. I don't know if you
Lenora
say that
in
on
the knife
podcast.
with the knife in the kitchen. No. I put in my review of this book, I'm gonna need to go to the chiropractor from all the whiplash this book gave me. It was crazy. I finished it sitting on this couch right here in the dark. In the dark. I had this little lamp on and it was a vibe. Very good.
The footsteps part creeps me out a lot. And I was like, on top of this book and our spooky episode podcast, I've been having the weirdest dreams. The weirdest dreams.
Well, you'll read something happy next.
I know. I was convinced there was a person in our bedroom. I turned on the flashlight and Cole's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like,
Lenore's in my room.
There's no one there. Well,
Yeah.
and also like, Kit having the nightmares about her mom.
Oh yeah.
Also was like terrifying.
Very
to me.
eerie.
About her saying like, "I see my mom walking into my room, standing over my bed." I was like, "You're kidding. You're kidding."
This truly was like the perfect October pick without being
Like
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was enough like creepy, scary elements, mystery. It was a good pick.
Yeah.
If I do say so ourselves.
Yeah. Did anyone have a favorite moment? Because I shared mine and then it turned into us going through the whole timeline of things. But
Honestly, my favorite moment is probably when Kit just like tells the detective to F off. Because he was pissing me off so bad.
I wrote a note that said, "Why is this detective not very detective-y?"
What's up with the detectives in thriller books? They suck.
I don't know why they suck. So I feel like honestly, he was letting all of his feelings like get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Well, and I feel like there were so many things. Like, I just feel, I mean, I'm not a cop, but I would have guessed that if someone comes to you with what they think is evidence or a theory or a witness, that you have to take note of everything anyone says. And he was just kind of like, "No,
You're lying.
You're lying." I'm like, "Okay, but it's
why
your
would she
job
want to
Yeah.
get involved with that stuff? She already had like a traumatic experience with her mom. Like, do you think, I mean, if I was in her spot, I wouldn't want to go to the detective unless I was like absolutely positive that I wanted to get myself involved further with the detective.
I think he just thought she was crazy.
I have a second favorite part. I think my second favorite part was honestly the dad confessing.
Ooh.
Because I feel like it kind of just like made a weight lift off, if that makes sense. Like almost as if I was Kit and like it wasn't her fault. Because I feel like she carried
that
it
closure.
around.
Yeah, she gets that closure.
Sorry, I was meaning about her mom.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that he did kill a lot of people. So.
Yeah.
This has actually got to be my favorite part. When Kate gets out of the shower and freaking Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She just gets up and walks out of her house.
Bye.
She just like leaves a note. She's just like, "See ya." Can you imagine how odd that would be?
I will never read a book. This is one of my Goodreads updates. I will forever have trust issues with women who are bedridden and can't talk and walk.
I knew
Something was up with it. I'm like, something is
in her typewriting. She said,
Mm-hmm.
"I learned how to be still." And I was like, she's absolutely 100% faking it.
This biatch can walk.
Yeah. And I think that's where I was like, she's totally 100% faking it. Good for her for letting the snow globe fall and break. Because that would have been like,
I just cannot imagine how no one catches on to that. And how like you can make your body that, like, I have taken care of somebody who literally can't move and like talk before. And it's like so sad, and it's just feels so obvious how, like, I just can't imagine, like, you know, when people like you try to be dead weight,
mm-hmm.
like you just have your husband hold you and then you're just like dead weight. Like, I don't know.
I think it's also she's been practicing for
so long. The poor thing. That'd be.
And almost
she got a kick out of it, in my opinion.
And almost it was as if she had to do it to survive.
Yeah.
You can do a lot in order to survive. And so laying there was, you know.
I was also convinced that Kit was like the granddaughter.
Okay, I knew Kit's family had something to do with it because when she first walked in and Virginia heard who she was, she made this face of recognition.
Yeah.
And so I knew something was going to come back into play with her family.
I was convinced that's what it was. I didn't not think it was the dad though. I don't know.
I didn't
somehow.
think either. I just wrote a note that said somehow Kit has to be involved.
Or the mom
this.
was
Actually,
Virginia.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. But there's a lot of things I got very wrong.
Seriously.
Including Carter. I was like, yeah, I knew it.
I think-
Carter's it.
I think that's probably my favorite part when her and Carter were driving in the car. My heart was just racing.
She's like, get out.
Yeah. That was
Poor
a good part.
Carter.
I know.
We didn't really get any closure with him.
I know. But like her whole reasoning for why he did it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's smart. And then it was like, oh, psych.
Well, I also thought it was him because when Kit was like on the edge of the balcony and he was like, Mary?
True.
And I was like, what is the same spot?
But the thing was,
But I guess he would have not thought it was her
yeah.
if he's the one that did it, because he would have been like, oh, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have put that together.
No, I didn't.
The thing I think Riley Sager did really well in this book was there were so many characters in the book who legitimately could have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes in thrillers, you're made to think that some person did it, and it's so far-fetched that you think there's no way this is the real person.
Mm-hmm.
But legitimately, Miss Baker could have done it. Virginia could have done it. Archie could have done it. Carter could have done it. There were so many people who were legitimately could have and had motive to do it that it just kept you guessing the entire time. Bravo.
It reminded me a little bit of Knives Out.
Yeah. Yeah.
With like all of the characters.
In one big house.
Mm-hmm. All of them pretty much gaining something from, keeping things secret, and yeah. Anyways, I thought it was good. I thought it was very well done, and I like when there's a lot of characters because it also makes it not single-handedly like, oh, obviously it has to do with these two characters because there's no one else involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was just well done.
Yeah, and it's
Well
fun
done.
to figure out their story, like how they played a part in it. I felt like my brain was like, it was a whole puzzle this whole time, and it was like, oh, this piece goes here, JK.
Okay.
Well,
Scratch that, reverse it. It's just,
but the puzzle fit. You know how
Yeah.
sometimes you read thrillers and the twist comes from left field and it's so shocking and you're just sitting there, how does this make sense?
Yeah.
Like, this is a really cool twist and I never would have guessed it. But if you were to reread this book, it would all make sense.
Everything would-
Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
thrillers, they just lead you one way and then it's completely different, but it would all make sense if you read this book again.
I just don't understand how people write books like this. I'm like, you have got to be, that's one reason why this was 5 stars for me, because I'm like, you have got to be a brilliant mastermind to fit all the pieces.
They have a board in their office.
Like, where did Riley start when he was writing this book? Like, oh, this girl's bedridden, but she's not actually bedridden. It's not actually her. It's her sister. You know what I mean? Like, how do you come up with these ideas and make sure all the pieces fit together? It's impressive.
It is very impressive.
Yeah.
This
I
is-
totally did not guess them being swapped, or like
I
Virginia
had an
actually
inkling that something was off when in the typewriting, the story she's typing for Mary, she never says Virginia's name. Like, when she's talking to her sister, like the dialogue, it's always like, my sister, my sister. And finally I was like, she said my sister a lot, and she has not once said Virginia said, or Virginia this. And so then that's when I was like, And so then I was paying attention to it, and the next like 2 things I read, she always referred to her sister as her sister and not her actual name, which I feel like in books sometimes people say a lot. Like, sometimes, like, when I'm talking to people, I'm never like, yeah, Kennedy, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the person's name I'm talking to a lot, but in books I feel like they say it a lot. So maybe that was one of the other reasons I caught on to it. But I was like, my sister. I think I texted Kennedy and I was
You
like,
did.
she keeps saying my sister and not Virginia. So something is not right there.
That's awesome
but
that you caught that.
I
I
didn't.
just think I just like assumes her sister was Virginia. Like, I didn't need to
Mm-hmm.
hear that. I guess I just never thought, like,
Yeah, when it
she
occurred
never
to
said
me,
a
I was
name.
like, oh, this is tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Got excited. That's a point where I was like, this. I can't put this down because I gotta see if I'm right.
I gotta see if I'm right.
Yeah, the blue eyes thing. I was like, oh, but
I was like, I knew there had to be a reason why all of the portraits were covered up.
There's always a reason for everything in a thriller book.
mm-hmm.
Because if what she said is true, she hated the portraits. So wouldn't she just cover hers up too?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not that vulgar. I don't know. To just have hers. Because she never gets to see it anyways. 'Cause she doesn't leave her room. Anyways.
Bizarre.
So what's your favorite moments? Do you have any least favorite moments?
I don't know. I feel like we've covered a lot.
Yeah,
We've
I
just
can't
really
think of
been,
one.
like,
We
word
pretty much
vomiting,
just did
but-
the entire book for you. I think my least favorite was just obviously the detective part.
Is that all you're gonna say about that?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
I kind of wish there would have been just a little hint of romance between Kit and Carter. Like, I just wanted, like, I kept waiting. I'm like, are they gonna, like, have some feelings for each other? I just wanted there to be, like, a little bit of tension. Because at first I thought they were gonna start to like each other, and then she was gonna find out he was involved in Mary's murder or something, and then she was gonna be like, because they talk a lot about, isn't he so handsome? So I was like, ooh, there might be a little romance there.
That's why I wanted them at the end to kind of like rekindle.
Yeah, and there wasn't.
And then it was just like he left.
And she's off with
Also, how
Virginia.
cool that it just ends where she's like, just traveling the world with Virginia, and Virginia's this author. I was just like, yeah.
I love it. I love it for her. 70 years old and runs away.
And her
Living
life is
life.
not over. It's like just beginning, which is
Yeah,
quite sad. But
I
also,
know. Well, she goes
really
to
cool.
Paris.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Paris yet.
it's never too late.
Anyways, I'm only 23, so I have lots of time.
Yeah, you do. You
If
could be
anything,
70.
That just makes me realize I have so much time. I can be 70 years old going to Paris.
Mm-hmm. Typing us letters.
Or just saying, come with me.
I'll go with you.
Okay. All right.
Do we want to listen to the voicemails, or nah?
They all basically say the same thing, but I
Like,
think
oh, it's such a page turner.
yeah. I was so engaged in this book that even when I would have to set the book down,
I mean, I just want someone to be like, okay, my fan cast for Carter is this, and tell us why. You know what I mean?
basically everyone just said, I say we play one.
But is it weird to just play one?
They all basically said, like, it was a page turner. I didn't see anything coming. The twists were crazy.
The twists
Yeah.
were crazy.
Couldn't put it in. You
All
guys
right.
decide. It's up to you guys.
I don't feel like we need to.
No, it's not.
It's already, we've been talking for a long time.
We
I know.
have. That we
Um,
have.
So we need to do fan cast.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's on tempo.
Sorry.
We
I'm
need to
gonna
do fan
change it.
cast, and is that it?
Yeah, I don't have any fan casts. So you guys
I have a fan. Okay, sorry.
You
We
guys
need
can
to
leave.
like officially transition
Okay.
into that though. Who wants to do it?
What?
we're
Do you want to
transitioning.
transition us into fan casts?
Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I think this would be such a good movie. But I don't know how they would necessarily do it. But I think it would be really good. At least the setting of it. I'm like,
Mhm.
I would be so entertained because I feel like any house on the top of a cliff is just, you know, it's going to be good.
Maybe you
Mhm.
just change the part where she says her blue eyes. Maybe you just change it so it's some other reveal, you know?
Or maybe you have them looking similar enough where they're old enough in age that there's not that big of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a really good
Because
movie.
I'm curious as to why other people didn't pick up on it either.
Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of all just like stuck in the house. They didn't really leave the house.
That's true.
so.
I guess they didn't really ever see her.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only one who ever saw her was like Miss Baker and Jesse and Archie, but they all knew the truth. So yeah, that makes sense. So we're gonna talk about some of our fan casts on who we would like to see and maybe a movie.
I love how much people love us talking about our fan cast, because sometimes I'm like, people aren't gonna really care about this, or I feel like sometimes I'm like, I just imagine that people just end the episode, but we get messages randomly, or like that are like, I love the fan cast, especially on our YouTube videos. So do you guys have one for old Lenora / or old Virginia?
I forgot her name. What was her name, Reggie?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. That was
That's
the
what I
only
pictured,
person
too.
I could think of.
She'd be great.
I think she'd be really good too.
She's got like the eyes. She could be like really intimidating looking, but then by the end, just be like this sweet soul that you're like.
And imagine her, the way she could act without speaking.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
queen.
Have you guys seen Only Murders in the Building?
Mm-hmm.
The third
I
season?
haven't watched the
No.
third season yet.
Well, she's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've heard she's in it.
really good.
Okay.
Really good.
I
in
love
it.
her. She's one of my faves.
I just finished the last episode and I loved it.
I'm gonna start that tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't come up with the young.
I
Do you have
did.
young? Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I
let's hear
just barely figured out what her name is. I was picturing her this whole time. I was reading the book, and then I just barely tonight was like, I should probably look up what this girl's name is. I can't think of what shows she's in. Andrea Rice. This girl.
Oh.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What things is she in that I have seen? That Everyday movie. She's gonna be in the new Mean Girls movie. Oh, she is on Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
She's the president girl that's like on the news anchor girl.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know why I pictured her, but that's who I pictured, because she's like young. She's like 22, but she could play a 17-year-old.
Wait, who is this for, young Lenora or young Virginia?
Yeah.
Or I guess young Virginia.
Okay.
I was gonna say
pregnant
pull a Mamma Mia moment and put Lily James, but I guess she's a little older.
Yeah, that's what's hard, is like trying to figure out the ages. Because people can like look the part, but then it's like, I don't know. Because one thing that was hard for me is that like Kit is like 31, did we decide?
Yeah, she's 31.
And how old is Jessie? Because she is Jessie's aunt.
I swear they said Jessie was like 19.
Yeah, she's like pretty
she was
young. I was picturing, and honestly, she might maybe be a little too old, but I was picturing Anya Taylor-Joy as Jessie. I think she's 20 something.
Did they ever say what color of hair Jessie had?
I think it was like a color.
Yeah, I think it's just she had kind of is just edgy. I can't really remember, but I was like picturing that like she could be
Okay, I could see it.
She's 27 though. Why did I think she was so much younger?
You know, it wouldn't be the first
I don't
time an
know.
older actress has played a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. Look at Riverdale.
Seriously?
Which, honestly, Lily Reinhart could play someone
Oh yeah.
in the little universe. This little universe.
This little universe.
Did you guys have a kit?
This Fancast website says Jodie Comer, which I don't necessarily disagree with.
Who was that?
I'm trying to remember. I've seen her in something. I just can't remember what. Let me see what she's been in.
I have no idea.
If you guys haven't ever looked up, what's this website? It's called MyCast. It's really fun because they just have all the fan casts for all the books and movies. Oh, she is the main girl in Free Guy. Have you guys seen Free Guy?
It's been so long.
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
She's the main girl in Free Guy.
Wait, show me her picture again.
She's also in Star Wars, apparently.
She's cute. I was picturing, and I know the only reason I was picturing her because she plays a caregiver in another movie, but I think she'd be
I
perfect.
know exactly what you're going to say.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, you could cast Emilia Clarke in basically anything
I know,
and
she's
she would kill it.
fantastic. But that's what I was picturing the whole time, and I couldn't get out of my brain. And then I was like, you know what? She'd be great.
She'd be perfect.
She'd be great.
She's a little too old for the one I'm thinking of. I don't know. I just couldn't get her out of my head. Rachel McAdams.
Oh.
Doesn't she also play caregiver?
I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Okay, I could see it.
I don't know why.
Love her.
I don't know why I was picturing Kit to be much older.
How old is Rachel McAdams?
44. But you
She
know,
looks pretty young though.
they all look young.
Mm-hmm. Those Hollywood ladies.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this was so hard because they weren't very descriptive with the characters besides
eye color.
yeah, Virginia and Lenora's eye colors.
Meryl Streep though, that's a good one.
I do have a pick for Carter.
Oh, I'd love to hear.
Scott Eastwood.
Yeah.
I was just picturing
yeah.
like a guy who's he's like works out in the lawn with his shirt off and he's muscly and he's in his 30s and he's just really handsome. I was
He
like,
is very handsome.
Scott Eastwood. I don't know why I was thinking that.
He is.
So, mighty fine.
The detective can be the guy that plays. Oh my gosh, what is his name in Knives Out?
Oh, yeah.
No, because
But he's good. He's a good
I
detective.
know.
I just kept
No,
thinking of
let's
the
cast-
detective in Psych.
Let's cast Bella's dad as the detective.
Bella's dad? Like from
Twilight?
Twilight?
Yeah.
I can picture him with a mustache.
Charlie?
Yeah,
What's
Charlie.
his real name?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's cast him as the detective.
Everything was just kind of all over the place for me.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a cast for like Archie?
Ooh.
No.
I have like
I
a
don't
vision
either.
and it's
Describe it.
it's like Ratatouille Chef Gusto.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't know why.
So
Oh,
great.
he's a chef.
I know. I just anything with chef, I just think of Ratatouille. I could see
so
it. I
funny.
killed a person with this thumb. I can see it. I don't know why. Any one of those, or maybe the blonde guy.
From Ratatouille?
Yep. Oh, the one with this thumb guy. I killed a person with this thumb. I can't even tell we're recording the podcast episode late.
Yeah.
We get a little unhinged. What is it called? My cast.
Yeah, there wasn't very many people on my cast, honestly.
Well, when did this book come out?
Um,
Why do I feel like it was this year? Am I
think
crazy?
it was.
shall we look?
Someone on here cast Joe Keery as Carter.
Absolutely not. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Let me find it.
Honestly, you want to know who I think could play the dad?
Who? I said an idea too. Tell me
Who?
yours first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first. What's his name off Stranger Things?
Yes!
What guy? Wait, the dad when he's younger or the dad when he's old?
The dad when he's old.
What
Oh,
guy?
I'm actually obsessed with this actor.
What Stranger Things guy?
He's Hopper.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with him. We just watched, there's a movie on Netflix. It's called, it has Anthony Mackie in it, and it's about them buying a haunted house, and he plays the ghost. It's so good.
I just
Yeah, I
watched
love him.
Gran Turismo, and he's in that.
Okay, you guys have to hold on. I'll get there. This is so random. David Harbour.
David
Oh,
Harbour.
I
There
love
is a
him.
Christmas movie.
Where he's like a Santa?
It's called
like a rated
Violent
R.
Night. You guys should watch it.
Is it funny?
It's like it's Santa, but he's like murdering all these bad guys. It's very
Is it
gory.
supposed to be
It's
like
very gory. It's not scary.
satire?
I don't even know. We watched it last
I feel
Christmas.
like he's in like the most random movies. I love him though.
Love him. He could play the dad.
I think he could too.
Yeah.
He can be like,
Let's get Winona Ryder in there.
I love Winona Ryder. I will cast her in any movie. If I were
who's she
a
again?
casting director, I'd put Winona
mom?
Ryder
Oh,
and
okay.
Meryl
Okay.
Streep and Dacre Montgomery.
All the Stranger
In
Things
every-
actors. Just take
Literally.
everyone, put them in everything.
Literally, I love them all so much. So,
Oh,
That was good. David Harbour.
David
We're on the same.
Harbour.
Yep, he's good.
well,
yeah.
guys, that was
He'd be really good.
He'd be so good.
Okay, don't look at me. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed The Only One Left by Riley Sager. As you can tell, we really enjoyed it, and we really dove deep into all the theories.
we had to understand.
We had to nail
everything.
down the timeline. everything that went down, name all the plot twists that happened. But we had a blast. I hope you guys did too. We didn't have a very good fan cast, so if you guys thought of anybody, feel free to send us some DMs, comment on our posts, whatever. We'd love to hear all of your guys' ideas. It's so fun because everyone envisions things differently, and so it's just fun to see what you guys envision as well as like what these two envision too. Yeah, and don't forget to read the next book club book for November, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. We'll be talking about that. The first week of December is when that episode will come out for that. So we're super excited. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at What She's Reading Pod, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.